Your blonde bombshell back with you. As many of you know, last year with my costumes, I got to pick out characters and dress up. I picked out Good Sandy for 1 month, and the next month I picked out Bad Sandy, and I think I was actually Bad Sandy for Halloween last year. Anyway, which by the way, if you come to our house to trick or treat, I actually trick or treat in the costume. I give kids the treats in the costume that I dress up as. So yes, I was dressed up as Bad Sandy last year, and I gave out treats, and it was just great. The one year I dressed up as Beth Chapman and got to give the kids the treats as Beth Chapman. So this year is a toss-up, and I'm going to keep you guessing until actual Halloween. So I'm not going to tell you. But it is a battle, I'll give you a hint, between a blonde and a brunette. First time ever that your blonde bombshell may be a brunette for Halloween, but that's all we're going to say on that part. Anyway, the question in the inbox was, did you enjoy being Good Sandy or Bad Sandy? I think Donna is more like Good Sandy, and because she gives her all, she would, just be like heartbroken all the time over a good guy. Yeah, Donna's totally like Good Sandy. And the blonde bombshell is totally like Bad Sandy. So in those two retrospects, there you go. Now, with that being said, there was a request for this song, and we're going to sing it. It's called Let Me Be There. I have done this song before, I believe. It's been a couple of years. And it's late at night. I just finished my workout. We haven't really done late night singing in a while, so bear with me, okay? I just didn't want you guys' last views of me, if you call it that, to be of me crying and downhearted because I have the BBs, birthday blues. Which I still do have, but they're just buried deep. Because I'm thinking to myself, I can't focus on that. I know it's going to be a horrible day, but I just can't focus on it. So, here we go with singing Let Me Be There. And Mr. Wright, wherever you are, this goes out to you. Wherever you go, wherever you may wander in your life, surely you know I always wanna be there, holding your hand and standing by to catch you when you fall, seeing you through in everything you do. Let me be there in your morning, let me be there in your night. Let me change whatever's wrong and make it right. Let me take you through that wonderland that only two can share. All I ask you is let me be there. Watching you grow and going through the changes in your life, that's how I know I always wanna be there. Wherever you feel you need a friend to lean on, here I am. Whenever you call, you know I'll be there. Let me be there in your morning, let me be there in your night. Let me change whatever's wrong and make it right. Let me take you through that wonderland that only two can share. All I ask you is let me be there. change whatever's wrong and make it right. Let me take you through that wonderland that only two can share. All I ask you is let me be there. All I ask you is let me be there. Woo! Now that is a tough song to sing. Now, before I hit stop on this, I know I wasn't planning on doing these videos, so that was a shock, right? I hardly ever do anything shocking. I love everything planned out. Everything's got to be according to schedule, planned out, and organized. That's always how I've been. I've never been one to really like surprises and or unexpectedness. But you know, my dreams have been a little bit scary, not gonna lie. I was freaked out about that. Other than that, the car situation. Let me tell you, this is when I wish I had one of these men in my life that was argumentative and could sit down and talk price. Because right now I'm still waiting on State Farm. I haven't heard from them. And I don't think that the local car dealer that I want to deal with is going to budge too much on price, which breaks my heart. Again, I don't see this being an outstanding birthday. I said I wasn't going to mention it. But I'm used to disappointment, so I've just gotten really used to that at this point. I don't foresee it being outstanding for a lot of reasons, but that's life. I don't want to keep dwelling on the same thing because I'm going to lose viewers, and I love you all out there. Let's see. Oh, here's a question I was asked. Will the Blonde Bombshell please do a Monday Night Raw review? It has been a long time, actually, since I've done a Monday Night Raw review. And I gotta say, these jackets, my Beanie Baby, I think it's highly, highly time that yours truly does a Monday Night Raw review. So, tomorrow night after Raw, before my workout, I will make one video, and it will be about Monday Night Raw. No questions, no singing, all about Monday Night Raw. So, for you wrestling fans who have been missing your Blonde Bombshell, get ready, because the Diva is coming back to bring the house down, and I will do our Monday Night Raw review that we used to do. I know I was shocked when somebody said, hey, you could have been on Tough Enough and you would have been like, you know, really great at it. Thank you for that compliment, by the way. And as for not doing it for a while, you know, I hadn't really thought about it until somebody brought it up, so I greatly appreciate that. Another thing that they brought up was, you know, it's easy to get down, and I have been down this week. I've been very down. Comments get said, feelings gets hurt, my feelings. I take things very personally, and that's not a good thing. But when you have PCOS, you jump to conclusions, you overreact, and you overthink. Probably some of my worst qualities and my worst traits. You pray for improvement, you hope for the best, and you really want a brighter future, but yet, if you believe in the dreams that you have, or that I've had, and then that day comes and you're actually disappointed because those dreams don't come true, you have no one to blame but yourself. I've actually talked this over with a couple of my friends. One of my friends said, don't put too much stock into your dreams, because dreams are just dreams, which makes good sense. And then I talked to another one of my friends that said that dreams hold a great significance, and that I should pay attention and be aware. I don't know. Either way, I can tell you what's going to happen, because I feel like this has been Donna's year of disappointment. So I want to thank all of my Blonde Bombshell believers for being out there. I want to thank them for listening as long as they have, understanding and supporting me. It's been, like I said, a very tough year. Every time I think that I'm making progress, it's 2 steps forwards, but 4 steps back. I just pray that, I know, everybody tells me, Donna, every year, you think that something major is going to happen, and it doesn't. So one of my friends gave me the best piece of advice today. Be happily disappointed. And I kind of went, what? And she's like, well, I hate to see you think, oh my gosh, this is going to be the year something major happens and it doesn't happen for you. She goes, just be like, okay, you know what? If it happens, I'm pleasantly surprised. And if it doesn't, I'm not going to be terribly disappointed. And, some have asked me, what is the toughest thing about having a YouTube channel? Let me tell you, I am usually very quiet and shy unless I get to know you. So me speaking in front of a camera, singing in front of a camera, doing the raw reports, talking about my life, airing it for the world to see, I think that's probably one of the toughest things to do in front of a camera. And when everybody says, well, would you do a reality show? I do one almost, once a month at least with you guys here on YouTube. I mean, you guys know me probably better than anybody else. If you go back from the very first video to now, you'll know exactly who I am and what I've been through. I've always been honest with you all. I believe in treating others the way I want to be treated. I don't believe that I'm better than anybody. I don't believe that I deserve more than anybody. I just share my life with you. And that's who I am. Be it the Blonde Bombshell, which was a name that was started out as a joke. It started out as a joke because one of my friends said when I was dating Mike, who at the time, I don't know if he's still doing it or not, he was wrestling in North Carolina, and he does it on weekends. And she said to me, what are you going to do? Go out there and become the Blonde Bombshell and lose all this weight? And I'm very proud of what I overcame and what I became with my weight loss. I think that I showed the world, okay, you know what? I'm down, but don't you dare count me out. And I overcame the odds. That's what's very important. Never give up. No matter what you think is going to happen, or what has happened, or what will happen, your past, present, or future, the best thing is that you don't quit on yourself. And I will say, it's very easy to feel like the future is bleak. Because, lately some of the comments that I've been reading and experiencing in my life, it has been bleak. So I've decided right now to take some time to just relax and let God have his way. Turn it over to God. It's in God's hands. So whatever he sees fit will happen. My dream, who knows? You know, August 3rd could come and one of those three could be at the door. And in each scenario, there's a different way it would go out. With Mike, I would want answers about why I wasn't good enough, why I wasn't pretty enough, why he felt like he couldn't come here the first time, and why he waited so long for 8.5 years to pass. In order for, or longer than that, we dated for 8.5 years, but for all that time to pass, then for us to be broken up for going on 5 years, and all of a sudden, Woohoo, Mountain Dew, he shows up. That would freak me out. With Mr. Park, I don't see that happening at all. I being honest, and CB, oh boy, I don't really want to comment on that one, because that's the one thing I'm going to leave private right now. I'm not going to cry, but what I am going to say is God's got his hand in this. He's got his hand on me, and he's got his hand on my life. And he knows what I'm going through. He knows why I've worked so hard to lose my weight, why I'm still working hard to lose my weight. And it's always a challenge with PCOS. There's never a time, really, that once you achieve your goal, that you get to say, thank goodness I've done it and it's over. No, you see, with PCOS, one thing I've learned is there's no time for a timeout. And one reason I am working so hard is I do want my own children, and I want to do it the biological way, if at all possible. If not, there's nothing wrong with adoption. I know that. But I don't want to be like, it was my fault. And I know that that's a hard thing to say, but I want to be able to say I gave it my all, and I didn't settle. And when I get back down to 145, I will know that I gave it my all. And I would hope and I would pray that the man I wind up with would support that diet feature, you know, wanting us to have children, wanting us to be able to at least try to have it biologically, and, you know, support it on that route. It's just very hard. That's a hard topic for me, because by now I wanted to be a mom and a wife, by golly. Actually, wife and a mom. But that's how I thought that it was going to happen by now. It just hasn't happened yet. But in God's time, it will. I'm keeping the faith, turning it over to God. And I know that I have my blonde bombshell believers out there backing me. Thank you. And whatever happens on August 3rd, it's scary, isn't it? I'm scared. God's going to be with us. If nothing happens, I'm a big girl. I'm used to disappointment. Well, with that said, this is probably about the time I'm going to sign off. After all, I think Peanut is wore out, and I've wore him out either talking or singing. I really haven't decided which one. Yes, and lately he has decided to have my bed as his bed. Maybe it's because I'm not in here too much, and when I am in here, I'm always busy doing something rather than going to bed, it seems like. Anyway, I read this one book today, and I'm going to share this part with you because to me it sticks out as poignant. The woman, she had went through this point in her life where she had been abused, and she had problems believing in love. And she'd seen her parents go through this, getting back together, drifting apart, getting back together, drifting apart. And she wondered if she could believe in love. So she basically set this whole thing up about marriage, where she was like, okay, I'm going to get married, but we're going to take sex out of the equation. Kind of like that movie, The Mirror Has Two Faces, you know. By the way, check that movie out. It's one of my favorites. And he was like trying to prove her wrong, being Mr. Fix-It, always wanting to help her overcome her demons as it is with what she's been through, and wanting to make her a better person, and wanting to help her raise her half-sister. And he was right there through every trial, every tribulation. He was there. And needless to say, she has this one tribulation with her half-sister, and she doesn't think that she's going to be able to overcome it. Well, they get to have an intimate moment, if you will, and then she's like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? We're going to have to get married, and yada, yada, yada. They end up getting married. But there comes a time in the book where she's worried that he only married her because of obligation. And the sweetest thing he could say to her was he loved her from the moment he met her. And it wasn't just the way she looked that mattered. It was what was inside that counted. He could see past all of her faults and realize the person that she was inside. Wow. It makes you go, if that can exist in books, and if that can exist in movies, can it exist in real life? I sure pray so. Not only for myself, but everyone watching. God bless you all. Keep the faith.